Dear fellows, College of Law has been conducting this event every year to ensure that students not only learn coursework but also to present themselves professionally in courtroom. The mock trial competition is a testament to our institution's dedication to fostering a culture of excellence, innovation and practical learning. We believe that by providing students with realistic and immersive learning experience, we can impart them to become skilled, confident and compassionate legal professionals. And that's why today we are here to witness a fusion of law and performance, where students will bring the courtroom to life with their skills, knowledge and passion. Let's celebrate these talented students who work tirelessly to prepare this. They will step into the role of lawyers, witnesses and many others to stimulate our real trial. Definitely it's going to be a battle of wits and words.
Dear fellows, a mock trial is more than just a competition. It is a testament to the dedication, preparation and teamwork that each of us has poured into this event. It challenges us not only to think critically but also to speak persuasively and uphold the principles of integrity and fairness that lie at the heart of the legal system. The event will follow a structured format, beginning with case selection, team formation and role assignments, followed by the trial phase, which includes the opening statement, witnesses' testimonies and evidence presentation, and finally the closing arguments.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are highly obliged to our distinguished guests who have joined us today and have definitely honored us. It's my honor to introduce Honorable Mr. Justice Retired Qazi Maleen Malik Sahab. And we have Honorable Judge Mr. Javed Iqbal Sheikh, District and Session Judge, Anti-Terrorism Court, Faisalabad. And we have the honor of being judged by the Honorable Sarnia Sadisar Bhatti, Advocate High Court, former President of District Bar Association, Chinno. And it's my pleasure to invite Professor Dr. Rafi Azam, worthy Vice Chancellor of Government College, University, Faisalabad. As a champion of academic excellence, Professor Dr. Rafi Azam has been a driving force behind our institution's success, and we are honored to have him. Thank you so much, honorable judges and guests, for your time.
Love the Lord, your God, with all your soul, with all your heart, and with all your mind. That is the first and the greatest commandment. We begin this auspicious event with a recitation of Holy Quran, seeking blessings and guidance from the Almighty. Let us listen with reverence and reflect on the divine wisdom that guides us all in all our endeavors.
तमाम हमद उस खालिक़े अज़ल के लिए, तमाम हमद उस खालिक़े अज़ल के लिए, सुकूत झील को देता है जो कमल के लिए। मैं उसके नाम से करती हूँ इब्तिदाए कलाम, कि जिसके नाम फरिश्तों ने भी संभल के लिए। I would like to invite Mr. Hafiz Hassan from 8th semester section A.
وتول عنهم حتى حين وأبصر فسوف يبصرون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. صدق الله العظيم.
Following the recitation, we will have the honor of listening to Naat Sharif, a beautiful tribute to the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. His life was a true reflection of the perfect example of humanity, kindness, and faithfulness. In addition, it will set the event for humility and spirituality for the proceedings ahead.
لوح بھی تو قلم بھی تو تیرا وجود الکتاب، لوح بھی تو قلم بھی تو تیرا وجود الکتاب، گنبد آبگینہ علم تیرے محیط میں حباب، حسن یوسف دم عیسائیت بیزاداری، حسن یوسف دم عیسائیت بیزاداری، آنچائی خوباں ہمہ دارن تو صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم تنہا داری. I would like to invite Miss Iman Fatma from 4th semester section A on stage. صلی اللہ علیہ یا رسول اللہ وسلم علیکہ یا حبیب اللہ. میں کہ بے وقت بے مایا ہوں، میں کہ بے تیری محفل میں چلا آیا ہوں، تیری محفل میں چلا آیا تیری محفل میں چلا آیا ہوں، تیرا پیغام ہے یا ایک حال जालियों से तुझे देख आया हूँ, जालियों से तुझे देख आया हूँ, मैं के बेवकूफ
Next, we will stand together in unity and pride as we recite our national anthem, a moment to reaffirm our love for our country and our commitment to upholding justice and integrity.
किस्मत नौए बशर तब्दील होती है यहाँ, एक मुकद्दस फ़र्ज़ की तकमील होती है यहाँ। आई फील प्राइड कि मुझे अपनी फैकल्टी की तरफ से, अपने वर्दी चेयरमैन डॉक्टर गुलाम मुर्तज़ा साहब की तरफ से ये ड्यूटी दी गई है कि मैंने मोअज़्ज़िज़ मेहमानान गिरामी को वेलकम नोट प्रेजेंट करना है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वार्मली वेलकम सर जस्टिस रिटायर कासिम अली मलिक साहब, रिनाउंड लॉयर पंजाब जुडिशरी का एक नाम। उनके साथ जवेद इकबाल शेख साहब, सेकंड जज उनके साथ हमारे एल्डर ब्रदर, हमारे लविंग फैकल्टी मेंबर असद निसार भट्टी साहब। और यहाँ मुझे कहने में कोई तरद्दुद नहीं है कि फूल खिलते हैं तो हम सोचते हैं, फूल खिलते हैं तो हम सोचते हैं, तेरे मिलने के मौसम आ गए हैं। Such moments, such ceremonies, such gatherings are the soul of our academic arena, and once again we are gathered here to present our 8th final mock trial 2025, a gala day for all the law students। और हमेशा मैं कहता हूँ कि नजम अमीर शाह साहब ने जो भी फंक्शन इनके जिम्मे लगाया, इन्होंने करके दिखाया। तालिबात के लिए I have no fear to say, हमने खैरात में ये फूल नहीं पाए हैं, हमने खैरात में ये फूल नहीं पाए हैं, खूने दिल सर्फ किया है तो बाहर आई है। Coming together is the beginning, keeping together is the progress, and finally achieving our goal, our success। نجم صاحب کے لیے میں یہی کہوں گا کہ فرحاد would not have so much tafashiri as he has for his students, for his college of law, for his colleagues and for this campus. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day. Enjoy this Scholar Day of Law. May this institution make progress by leaps and bounds. May we see always light. نشان یہی ہے زمانے میں زندہ قوموں کا کہ صبح و شام بدلتی ہیں ان کی تقدیریں. کمال صدق و مروت ہے زندگی ان کی, معاف کرتی ہے فطرت بھی ان کی تقصیریں. تھینک یو ویری مچ.
Stands before you with humility and resolve, ready to accept the honor and responsibility as President, Law Mob Society at Government College, University, Faisalabad. Today, I pledge to lead with passion, purpose, and integrity. With teamwork and collaboration, we will convert all the challenges into opportunities for the growth of our society. I will encourage each of my members of our society to reach their maximum potential. Today, I pledge to lead with transparency and accountability, keeping in mind that our society remains a source of pride for Government College, University, Faisalabad, and I will keep its legacy driven by the forward-thinking path, committed with excellence and purpose to commitment to excellence. Thank you so much.
And now judges are presenting medal to President of Law of Society, Mr. Rao Shazil Shah.
Welcome you all to the 8th final mock trial competition 2025 hosted by the College of Law. As the Vice President of Mock Society, I am Laiba Riaz with my co-president Umair Munir from 10th B. We are proud to witness this gathering of brilliant minds, ready to showcase their dedication to the art of advocacy, critical thinking, and the pursuit of justice. Today's proceeding will highlight the key aspects of child advocacy, including reading of FIR, framing of charges, and bail arguments, along with cross-examination, where credibility is tested, chief examination, where witnesses present their testimony, and re-examination, where clarifications are made. These elements are the key essence of trial advocacy. The ability to argue persuasively, think critically, and then pursue legal integrity of law. Let this trial inspire us all to honor the principles of fairness and professionalism in this legal field. We wish all the participants a success. Thank you.
2021 صبح 4:10 نام مستغیث محمد شاہد بندوست محمد پتہ برج ملکہ پیشہ زمیندارہ بجرم 309 148 اور 149 تعزیرات پاکستان. بیان کیا کہ برج ملکہ تھانہ چناب نگر کا رہائشی ہوں. زمیندارہ کرتا ہوں میں اور محمد یار برادرم نے موزہ ہمگوانا میں سید صفدر علی شاہ سے زرعی رقبہ ٹھیکے پر لے کر فصل گندم کاشت کر رکھی ہے. آئے روز فصل گندم کا اجاڑا ہو جاتا تھا. اب فصل گندم تیار ہو چکی تھی. اکشاف 15 اور 16 اپریل 2021 میں ماہ محمد یار برادرم با عمر قریب 36 تا 37 سال اور مسمیان نمبر 1 حیات بند محبت نمبر 2 زمان بندی اقوام گلوکر سے نائدیا اپنی فصل گندم دیکھنے کے لیے بوقت قریب 1 بجے رات آ رہے تھے. جو ہی اپنے فصل گندم کے نزدیک پہنچے تو میں نے اور حیات نے اپنی ٹارچ جلائی اور ٹارچ ہائی کی روشنی میں دیکھا کہ ملزمان مسمیان نمبر 1 فخر بند ظفر مسلح بندوق 12 بور ڈبل بیرل نمبر 2 مظہر بند نالا مسلح رائفل 303 نمبر 3 فیض ولی خان مسلح ریپیٹر 12 بور. نمبر 4 سلطان ولی خان مسلح رائفل 8 mm اقوام کی ادھر سے نئے گھٹنا والی. نمبر 5 ایک اسلام روم کھال پانی میں بیٹھے ہوئے تھے. ہمیں دیکھ کر للکارا مارتے ہوئے اور اپنے اپنے اسلحے کو بلٹ مارتے ہوئے ہماری طرف دوڑے. فخر نے للکارا کہ محمد یار کو اجاڑنے کی بابت طلب کلامی کرنے کا مزہ چکھاتے ہیں. ساتھ ہی مجھے فخر نے بندوق 12 بور سے برادر محمد یار پر سیدھا فائر کیا جو برادر کو سامنے بائیں طرف سینے میں لگا. فائر لگتے ہی برادر مضروب ہو کر زمین پر گر گیا. بقیہ ملزمان نے ہم پر فائرنگ شروع کر دی. صاحب ماہم ریاض نے فصل تربوز میں لیٹ کر جان بچائی. ملزمان فائرنگ کرتے ہوئے اور اسلحہ لہراتے ہوئے موقع سے فرار ہو گئے. ماہم ریاض نے محمد یار برادروں کو سنبھالا جو شدید مصروف خون میں لت پت بے ہوشی کی حالت میں تھا جس کو مصروفی حالت میں ریسکیو 112 ٹو سول ہسپتال لادیاں لے کر آئے جو اسپتال میں پہنچ کر فائر کے زخم کی تاب نہ لاتے ہوئے جاں بحق ہو گیا. وجہ راج یہ ہے کہ ہماری ٹھیکے والی زمین جس میں فصلیں گندم کاشت کر رکھی ہے کہ نزدیکی ملزمان فخر اور مظہر کی ڈالی ہے. آئے روز ملزمان نے مال مویشی ہماری فصلیں گندم کا نقصان کرتے تھے. محمد یاد برادر نے ملزمان کو اجاڑ کرنے سے منع کیا تھا جو کہ ملزمان نے اپنی بےزتی سمجھی اور منصوبہ بندی کے تحت ملزمان نے ہم سلام مشورہ ہو کر وقوع کیا ہے. آپ آگے ہیں کارروائی کی ہے.
And police. Your Honor, the mentioned case registered against accused is false, frivolous, baseless, concocted with ulterior motives. Your Honor, there was delay in lodging of FIR of almost 3 hours and 10 minutes, which is unexplained. That makes it as plain and manipulated case. Relying on 2010 SCMR 385, unexplained delay in FIR raises suspicion of false implication and bail should be granted. Your Honor, the case is more about personal revenge rather than real case, as the FIR was lodged by the deceased brother who was not a neutral witness to support such serious allegations. Relying on 2018 SCMR 344, the state relies only on interested witnesses without independent support, bail should be granted. Your Honor, the description of land, Hayward number, Tony number and Hasra number is not mentioned in the FIR. Moreover, there was nothing to produce between this agreement of Sadr Shah and Muhammad Yar. Your Honor, that makes it a modified case. Moreover, Your Honor, the occurrence takes place in midnight under cover of darkness. So, without light, how it is possible to identify the accused clearly with just a torchlight? Your Honor, medical is highly incooperative with lodging of FIR. As per FIR report, injury is caused by the 12-bore double barrel gun which shoots fire that scatters. But on basis of postmortem report, the wound is about 1.5 into 1.5 centimeter, which is totally against the context of the FIR, making it doubtful. Your Honor, under the law, accused is assumed an innocent person until proved guilty. Your Honor, the case needs further inquiry relying on PLD 1995 SC 34. If evidence is weak and requires further inquiry, it should be granted. Your Honor, there is no apprehension of absconding or tampering with prosecution evidence if accused is released on post-arrest bail. The accused is ready to furnish bail bonds for entire satisfaction of this honorable court. Your Honor, so it's my humble submission before this honorable court, the post-arrest bail may kindly be granted till the final decision of the case in interest of law and justice. Thank you all.
May it please Your Honor, may I start? The complainant party was in a state of shock and their first priority was to save the victim's life rather than lodging of the FIR. Your Honor, the present case falls under the ambit of prohibition. On this issue, superior courts have given a chain of judgments which strengthens or supports our argument, relying on 2024 SCMR page 1576, in which the court held that the tentative assessment of the material available on record, prima facie connected the prisoner with the commission of an offence which fell under the ambit of Section 497 CRPC. So the petition was dismissed. Sir, the complainant duly produced the lease agreement before the investigation officer during the course of investigation. Your Honor, the accused was nominated in the FIR with a specific role of fire and Dalkara, which was commanding in nature. There is a chain of judgments by the superior courts which strengthens our version, relying on 1996 MLT page 884 and 2024 SCMR page 1576. Sir, moreover, during the course of investigation, the alleged weapon, gun 12 double barrel, was recovered on the quotation of the accused person, which is mentioned in B5. Sir, the recovery is prompt as it was in accordance with the provisions of law.
Whether crime empty matched with the test empty.
Yes, sir.
Whether crime empty matched with the test empty.
Yes, sir.
फॉरेंसिक साइंस लेबोरेटरी की रिपोर्ट है, फॉरेंसिक एनालिसिस हुआ,
पीएफए से रिपोर्ट पूछी है।
क्राइम एम्प्टी, क्या कोई क्राइम एम्प्टी मौके से ली गई?
जी सर,
ली गई। Whether it was compared with the test empty.
Yes sir, it is mentioned in the file.
You are not certain.
Your Honor, the accused has committed a heinous offence which entails capital punishment and falls under non-bailable offences. Relying on SCMR 2024 page 1419, in which the court had that to effect the accused is a juvenile without entitled into the possession of bail, as he was charged with a heinous offence which entails capital punishment, so the petition was dismissed. Sir, as the defense counsel said, that how they can see the face of the accused person as it was nighttime occurrence. Sir, although it was a nighttime occurrence, but the source of light is mentioned in the FIR, which were the torches which Mohammed Shahid and Rajab were holding at the time of the occurrence. Sir, there is direct evidence against the accused person. The witnesses have fully implicated the accused person in the statement under section 161 CRPC. The ocular evidence is in line with the medical evidence. The post-mortem report fully supports the prosecution version. Your Honor, the injury mentioned in the FIR is a fatal injury and is also the cause of death of the deceased Muhammad Yar. The motive behind the occurrence is explained in the FIR. Your Honor, it was a pre-planned murder with ulterior motives done with the common intention, and it is not a case of further inquiry. So, if the proposed accused is allowed concession of bail, he may temper the prosecution evidence or threaten the witnesses. Your Honor, as the accused has committed a heinous offence, so it is humbly prayed that the instant bail petition may kindly be rejected in the interest of justice and fair play. Thank you, Your Honor.
Son of Lala, the second accused nominated in FIR number 182/21. It is respectfully stated that the FIR was brought with the malified intentions by the complainant. The story presented in FIR is entirely false, frivolous, fictitious, concocted and baseless, and aimed at harassing and blackmailing the accused. Sir, a significant delay of approximately 3 hours and 10 minutes occurred in the lodging of FIR, which is not explained by the complainant. In today's digital age, where modern means of communication are readily available, it's perplexing that the complainant failed to register the incident in a timely manner. Hence, the delayed FIR indicates dishonesty on the complainant's part, suggesting it was lodged with deliberation and consultation. Reliance is placed on Supreme Court monthly reviews, page number 476, Supreme Court. The principle that prosecution has to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt applies even at the time of deciding whether the accused is entitled to bail or not. Your Honor, the insufficient lighting due to the absence of electricity and reliance on torchlights hindered a clear visual identification of the accused. The alleged firing by the accused did not inflict any grievous injuries. No role is attributed to Mazhar, and his motive remains unproven. Additionally, no recoveries were made from the accused, and the alleged recovery is false and planted. Sir, the accused has no prior convictions and possesses an innocent personality. This matter requires further inquiry, and the accused is entitled to the benefit of doubt. For giving the benefit of doubt, there may not be many circumstances. A single doubt is enough to give the benefit of the same to the accused. Supreme Court Monthly Reviews 2024, page number 205, Supreme Court. Benefit of doubt can even be extended at the case stage. Your Honor, there is no risk of absconding of the accused, and accused is willing to furnish a surety bond and complying with all the conditions set out by the Honorable Court. Your Honor, in light of these circumstances, it is respectfully prayed that the bail application be accepted and bail be granted to the accused. The denial of bail may result in an irreparable loss to the accused. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, with your due permission, I am Mohammad Ahmed Gulzar, attending on the behalf of prosecution in rebuttal of the bail petition filed on the part of accused Mr. Muhammad Mazhar, son of Lala. And who is nominated in this FIR, which was registered on 16th of April 2021 with the effects of section 302, 148 and 149 TPC. Your Honor, this FIR was promptly lodged and a specific role of the accused is attributed to him. Your Honor, the accused Mazhar was carrying a long-range 303 rifle, which was due to the course of investigation, it was recovered from the absolute possession of the accused. Your Honor, the accused was accompanied by other accused who literally and brutally fired the deceased person, which hit him on the vital part of his body. Your Honor, as a learned counsel from the defense side, argued that there is no direct injury caused by the accused person to the deceased. Your Honor, there is no universal rule of law as that if a person has not caused any direct injury to the accused, cannot be burdened with the offense of common intention and common object under section 34 and section 149 TPC respectively. Your Honor, as far as the question of the delay in reporting of the matter to the concerned police authority and its impact, Your Honor, it should be determined at the appropriate stage of the case. Your Honor, it should not be taken as a reason for the granting of bail to the accused. Reliance in this regard is taken from the judgment, which is taken from the judgment passed by the Supreme Court of Pakistan, which is PL 2006 SCMR 512. Your Honor, in this judgment, the Supreme Court of Pakistan has said it is to be observed that the effect of the loading of FIR with delay is always left to be considered by the trial court seized with the matter, because in every case delay is not considered fatal by the superior court. Your Honor, as far as the delay in the FIR for the satisfaction of this court, Your Honor, the delay in the FIR also relates to the factual aspects of the case. Your Honor, it is worth mentioning here that the place of occurrence is an agricultural land, a rural area, as well as an with unpaved passage. Your Honor, in the reliance in this regard is placed upon the judgment which is taken from the Supreme Court, which is PLE 1992 SC 211. Your Honor, in this judgment, the Supreme Court has had an 8 to 9 hours delay in the registration of the FIR is not fatal to the prosecution because the injured person was firstly taken to the hospital. Your Honor, this entire act was pre-planned and pre-concerted and nothing was sudden provocation. Your Honor, if these accused are released on bail, then there are high chances that they will endanger the life of the prosecution witnesses and they will play their role in the destruction of the evidence available on record against them. Your Honor, moreover, the offense against them falls within the ambit of prohibited law to section 497 CRPC, in which the granting of bail is an exception of court and not the right of the accused. Your Honor, therefore, I humbly pray before this honorable court not to grant bail to these accused for the better administration of justice. Thank you, my lord.
Your Lordship, I, Bilal Khan, appear on the behalf of State Council to ensure the justice prevail in this heinous, cold-blooded and premeditated murder and vehemently opposes the bail application of Mazhar and Faqir. These armed and dangerous men, armed with deadly weapons, targeted, brutally executed Muhammad Yar over a long-standing land dispute and leaving him to die in a pool of blood. This case was not a case of sudden provocation nor an act of self-defense, because the accused had brought loaded weapons with them, showing their guilty intention to kill. The accused are charged with Section 148 of PPC, Section 149 of PPC, and Section 302 of PPC. These offences fall within the prohibitory clause of Section 497 of CRPC, meaning the bail can only be granted in extraordinary circumstances. Your Lordship, which do not present in this case. The Supreme Court in PLD 1995 SC 34 grant of bail in the cases punishable with death is an exception, not a rule. Janab, the Learned Counsel mentioned 3 hours delay in lodging an FIR. That was not indicate malified intention, but because as the complainant and the witness was in state of shock and distress and were primarily concerned about saving the victim's life. The deceased Muhammad Yar was brought to the EHQ hospital Lalian through rescue 1122. The primary focus was on seeking urgent medical treatment rather than filing an FIR. Janab, the Learned Counsel's plea for further inquiry is also unwarranted, as all the material, eyewitness testimony, medical reports and established motive is already on record. The Supreme Court in 2020 SCMR 1049 Noor Muhammad versus the state. Further inquiry applies only when the evidence is contradictory or insufficient. When there is strong and consistent evidence exists, bail must be denied. Since the FIR, the eyewitness medical reports and the circumstantial evidence all are consistent, the accused cannot be benefit of further inquiry under Section 497 subsection 2 of CRPC. The eyewitness including complainant Muhammad Shahid, Haya and Zaban clearly identified the accused in their statements because the accused belong to same village and have a strong local influence. If they release on bail, they will force or threaten the eyewitness to withdraw their statements, destroy or tamper the evidence including the weapon used in the crime, terrorize the complainant family and pressure them into reconciliation. Janab, the State Council and the prosecution humbly praise that if we turn blind eye to this atrocity, tomorrow the weight of impunity will choke our society. Given the pre-planned and premeditated murder and nature of crime, the bail must be denied. The severity of the offence and the high likelihood of absconding necessitate the accused must remain in custody. If any one of the accused are released on bail, the remaining accused will use as a precedent weakening the prosecution case. May justice prevail.
सिंपल अनाउंस करना है ये ऑर्डर अनाउंस करना
ये ऑन कर माइक ऑन कर
उसने 6 लाख और रूलेंस के इतलाक इतना लिबरल और इतना लामहदूद नहीं होगा। मेरा तकरीबन इस प्रोफेशन में नेक्स्ट सदी हो चली है। मैंने आज तक एक केस भी नहीं देखा जिसके फैक्चुअल एस्पेक्ट्स दूसरे के फैक्चुअल एस्पेक्ट्स से मिलते हैं। हर केस के फैक्चुअल एस्पेक्ट्स डिफरेंट होते हैं। पहले फैक्चुअल एस्पेक्ट्स होते हैं, फिर उसके बाद लीगल एस्पेक्ट्स होते हैं। केस लॉ कब आता है जब फैक्चुअल एस्पेक्ट्स सिमिलर जो होते नहीं। यहाँ मैं आपको ये पुराने 22A के आने से पहले, सेक्शन 22A आने से पहले जब पर्चे नहीं होते थे तो लोग एग्रीव हाई कोर्ट में रिट फाइल करते थे। जस्टिस मजरुल हक साहब थे, फौजदारी के बहुत आला जाए थे। उनके पास एक को बकरियां चोरी हुई तो उसकी पिटीशन डाली, नीचे पुलिस ने पर्चा नहीं दिया तो पिटीशन डाली फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ ए केस। तो देखा वकील साहब ने कि जज साहब कोई परसुएट नहीं हो रहा है और मेरी बात को उनको दिल नहीं लग रही, तो उन्होंने मुझे किताब कोई ले आए थे केस लॉ, तो उन्होंने कहा माय लॉर्ड हियर इज अ केस लॉ। तो जज साहब ने कहा कि इस केस लॉ को तब पढ़ो अगर उसमें बकरियां हो। अगर उसमें बकरियां नहीं है तो फिर नहीं पढ़नी। तो ये केस ना तो होता है लेकिन बकरियां नहीं होती, इसलिए पहले केस के फैक्चुअल एस्पेक्ट्स होते हैं, फिर उसका इतलाक होता है। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
मुझे कहा गया कि मुझे कहा गया कि चार्ज फ्रेम करना है कि उस पर्सन पर, तो बजाय ये कि मैं बैटम चार्ज फ्रेम करूँ और सबके नाम लूँ, मोटी सी बात है, सेक्शन ट्रायल है ये, सेक्शन ट्रायल को रिलेट करता है सेक्शन 265, उसमें सब सेक्शन से लेकर के तक उसमें सारा प्रोसीजर है, और उसमें ये जब चार्ज फ्रेम करना है तो उसमें कोर्ट ने अपना तारुफ भी कराना है और मुलजिम का, हर मुलजिम का अलग नाम लेना है और उसे बताना है कि आप पर ये इल्ज़ाम है और इस जुर्म के आप मुर्तकिब हुए हैं और इस जुर्म को मैं सुन सकता हूँ, इस जुर्म का ट्रायल मैं कर सकता हूँ। तो वो फिर उसके बाद चार्ज फ्रेम करने के बाद पूछा जाता मुझे से कि भाई आपने ये सब सुन लिया है चार्ज, और आप दूसरी प्रोविजन ये होती है कि आप के पास कहने को कुछ है, तो ये दो जवाब दिए जाते हैं, उसके बाद ट्रायल कमिस होता है और बाकी उस ट्रायल में एविडेंस रिकॉर्ड की जाती है। और जिस तरह आज मैं आपको अप्रिशिएट इसलिए करना चाहता हूँ कि आपके सामने कुछ भी नहीं है, आपको प्रपोजिशन दी गई है, एक वाक़यात बताए गए हैं, मैंने अपनी अपनी मिसाल के मुताबिक तमाम एडवोकेट साहिबान ने और तमाम स्टूडेंट्स ने एफर्ट किए हैं, तो ये एक कम से कम आपके जहन में पिक्चर तो आई कि कोर्स में क्या होता है, लेकिन कोर्स में बड़ा ग्रेव और बड़ा साइलेंट किस्म का माहौल होता है। कि मेरे साथ जज साहब बैठे हैं, मलिक काजिम साहब, आप इनकी कोर्ट में सांस भी नहीं लिया जाता डर के मारे, तब मैं इनके सामने पेश भी होता रहा हूँ। इनकी सबऑर्डिनेशन से मुराद ये है कि ये हमारे सीनियर थे, तो इनकी प्रेजेंस में मीटिंग भी अटेंड किए हैं, इनसे बातें भी सुनी हैं। तो वो जब आप कोर्ट पे जाएंगे ना ये क्लैपिंग होगी, ना ये आपको इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी टीचर्स की तरफ से, वहाँ आपने ऑन योर ऑन ही आपने अपनी फाइल के साथ और उस सारे सीरियल्स और ग्रेव किस्म के और ग्रीन किस्म के माहौल में आपने उस समझे के मुर्दा कागज़ों में जान डालनी है, और उसमें आपकी जो प्रेजेंटेशन होगी, उसमें आपका जो कंडक्ट होगा, उसमें आपकी जो तैयारी होगी, वो क्या जाता है कि तीन चीज़ें लाजमी होती हैं, नो द लॉ, नो दाई लॉ, नो दाई जज, नो दाई केस। तो वो फिर ये सारी ये एक लेबर है जो, और एक प्रोफेशनलिज्म है जिसमें जितने इसमें माहिर होंगे, इतना ही एक्यूज को फायदा होगा और इतना ही कोर्ट को असिस्टेंस मिलेगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ऐसे है सब्जेक्ट जैसा था, लेकिन मैं लाहौर से आया हूँ, मेरे आने का कोई तो फायदा होना, तो मेरा ख्याल है कि एक फर्क जुर्म लगाते हैं, इस केस में चार्ज लगाते हैं, और आप अटेंटिव होकर, क्योंकि ये मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है स्प्रेडिंग ओवर ईयर्स एंड ईयर्स, कि चार्जशीट नॉर्मली डिफेक्टिव लगती है, लिहाजा इसका संजीदगी से इसको, क्योंकि ये ट्रायल की यहाँ पैदाइश हो रही है और पैदाइश ही गलत हो तो फिर आगे उसका क्या बनेगा। तो आज एक चार्जशीट लगा देते हैं, इसी केस में लगाते हैं, ये लगाते हैं जी कि आई मिस्टर फलां इस सेशन जज फैसलाबाद do hereby charge you A, B, C, D, E, F. The accused persons as under. Firstly, that you A, B, C, D, E, F while armed with deadly weapons, formed an unlawful assembly on so and so within the area of so and so, which resulted in violence and thereby committed an offence punishable under section 148 PPC, within the cognizance of this court. Secondly, that you, the above named accused person, on the above date, time and place, while armed with deadly weapon in prosecution of the common object of unlawful assembly, did commit qatl amd liable to ta'zeer of Muhammad Yar by firing at him, and thereby committed an offence punishable under section 302, read with section 149 PPC within the cognizance of this court. बस ये दो चार्ट लगे हैं, ये 148 का कि अनलॉफुल असेंबली है जिस रिजल्टेड इन राइटिंग, ये 148 है। 148 के साथ 149 नहीं लगता, ये रामली लगाया जाता है, जहाँ 148 होता है 149 लगा रखे हैं, 148 के अंदर 149 है। अगर ये 148 पढ़ें आज मेरी एनेक्स से पढ़ना तो आपको 148 के अंदर 149 मिल जाएगा, तो इसलिए 148 के साथ 149 नहीं लगाना। आगे ये आगे अब है, ये चार्ज लगा के मैंने एक सर्टिफिकेट देना है, जैसा आपने सर्टिफाइड दैट द चार्ज हैज बीन रेड ओवर एंड एक्सप्लेन्ड टू द अक्यूज्ड पर्संस, नीचे दस्तखत कर देने, लेट दे बी एग्जामिन्ड। आप नीचे मुल्ज़िम का बयान लिखना है विदाउट ओथ। अब यहाँ मैं अपनी बिरादरी की एक शिकायत कर दूँ कि एक रिवाज के तहत और सेक्स टाइम सिस्टम के तहत 3 सवाल लिखे जाते हैं चार्जशीट के नीचे, आपने नॉर्मली पढ़े, ये गलत है, ये लॉ की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, ये रिवाज की रिक्वायरमेंट है। ये फाइलों को देख कर जदीद करने के बदनसीबी है कि फाइल देख कर अगर देखो किताब की बजाय, तो पहला सवाल नॉर्मली कहा जाता है कि हैव यू हर्ड एंड अंडरस्टूड द चार्ज, कितना फजूल सवाल है। ऊपर जज साहब ने खुद सर्टिफिकेट दे दिया है कि आई हैव रेड ओवर द चार्ज एंड एक्सप्लेन टू द अक्यूज्ड पर्सन। जज साहब को अपने ऊपर एतबार नहीं है कि फिर मुल्ज़िम से पूछ रहे हैं कि क्या मैंने सर्टिफिकेट सही दिया है। ये सवाल क्या था, ये किस किताब में है, ये घड़ा गया सवाल है, ये नहीं पूछना, ये लिखना ही नहीं है। सवाल नंबर 2 ठीक है कि डू यू प्लीड गिल्टी टू द चार्ज, कहेगा नो, बट ठीक हो गया। सेशन ट्रायल में सिर्फ एक दूसरा सवाल है कि ये भी गलत लिखा जाता है नॉर्मली, सब्जेक्ट टू अ वेरी फ्यू एक्सेप्शन। ये लिखते हैं कि हैव यू एनीथिंग एल्स टू से, या विल यू प्रोड्यूस डिफेंस एविडेंस। ना ये डिफेंस एविडेंस की स्टेज है, ना ये हैव यू एनीथिंग एल्स टू से की स्टेज है। वहाँ लॉ ये कहता है, कोडिफाइड लॉ कहता है हैव यू एनी डिफेंस टू मेक, कि ये प्रोसिक्यूशन का केस है जो मैंने चार्ज में आपको ऊपर पुट कर दिया। अब आप बताएं हैव यू एनी डिफेंस टू मेक, आपकी कोई प्ली है, आपका कोई डिफेंस है, अगर है तो बताओ, आज बता दो पहले at the inception of trial, so that you may not be blamed that later on at some later stage you introduce the defense which is adulterated with legal advice। तो आपने पहले दिन बताया कि yes I killed the deceased in exercise of my self defense, या बताएं प्ली ऑफ एलिबाई कि ऑन द डे ऑफ अकरेंस एट रेलेवेंट टाइम आई वाज अब्रॉड। जो भी है अगर करना है तो यहाँ अपनी प्ली जो कोडिफाइड लॉ है, आप सेशन ट्रायल में देखें, उसका हेडिंग भी प्ली है, प्ली। तो ये प्ली आपने बतानी है, ये आपकी मर्जी है, बताएं या ना बताएं। लेकिन सवाल सेशन ट्रायल में सिर्फ 2 आए, will you produce do you plead guilty and have you any defense to make। मैजिस्ट्रियल ट्रायल में सिर्फ एक सवाल है, do you plead guilty to the charge, कोई और सवाल नहीं। ये बाकी सारे सवाल खड़े गए हैं किताब के खिलाफ, तो आपने किताब पर रहना है, गो बाई बुक, ये रिवाजी का काम नहीं करना।
और कोई सवाल हुआ तो फिर बताऊंगा। ये मैंने जबरन एनक्रोचमेंट किया है जज साहब के डोमेन में।
With the honorable court permission, the prosecution want to record the statement of complainant. मैं बयान देता हूँ जो कहूँगा।
आपने तो इसको कसम ही नहीं दी और विदाउट ओथ का स्टेटमेंट शुरू कर।
मैं बयान देता हूँ जो कहूँगा सच कहूँगा सच के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूँगा। अल्लाह मेरी मदद कर।
I, Muhammad Shahid, wal Dost Muhammad and my brother Muhammad Yar had taken land on lease from Safdar Shah in the month of April 2020. We had cultivated wheat crop on that land. The accused person used to damage our wheat crop in the month of April 2021. My brother Muhammad Yar had also submitted an application in the police station. Police called report Revenue Department and Revenue Department prepared report against the accused person. The night of 15-16 April, we decided to visit our wheat crop. I, along with Muhammad Yar, Hayar and Zaman, went to supervise our wheat crop. I and Hayar having separate torchlights, and we saw in the light of torch that the accused person armed with weapon 12 bore and he raised Larkara. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੱਡਾਂਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ। After that,
ये सारी शहादत इसी तरह होती तो ज़्यादा बेहतर होता कि आप पंजाबी में बयान देते, यहाँ कोई उसको अंग्रेजी में ट्रांसलेट करते, ये असली ट्रायल होता। ये पंजाबी में बोलते या मैक्सिमम उर्दू में बोलते और यहाँ अंग्रेजी में उसको ट्रांसलेट करते। आप जैसे आपकी मर्जी आप जैसे पहले तैयार किया हुआ उसी तरह
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੱਡਾਂਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ। After that, he fired a shot that landed on the left side of my brother Muhammad Yar. We attended Muhammad Yar, who was in little bit senses. I called on 11 May and took him to Tehsil HQ Hospital, Lalia. But he succumbed to his injuries as soon we reached the hospital.
Defense counsel wants to cross-examine the witness. So, Mr. Shahid, what is your relation with Muhammad Yar?
Muhammad Yar was my dear brother.
And what is your relation with other witnesses?
Zaman is my cooper and other one is my master.
So, it means all the witnesses are your close relatives, right?
Yes.
And where does the place of occurrence really fall? Is it in Hambuana or somewhere else?
In the area of Hambuana.
Is there any private or independent witness from Hambuana?
No, because the place of occurrence is not a residential area.
Okay. And how far is the place of occurrence from your house?
It is about 2,000 meters.
And one more thing, it's the cattle which used to destroy your wheat crop, not the accused person, right?
Yeah.
Did you capture any cattle?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do with it?
We ate them.
That's all you know.
With the honorable court's permission, the prosecution wants to record the statement of Patwari. सच कहूँगा, सच के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूँगा। अल्लाह मेरी मदद करे।
I, on 23rd April 2021, I was posted as Patwari, Patwar Circle, Hambuana. And on that day, I went to the place of occurrence with the investigating officer. I took rough notes on the instructions of IO and pointing of witnesses. I prepared a state site plan with the scale of 1 inch is equal to 20 karam and handed over exhibit 1 along with third copy to the IO. All the notes and drawings with black ink are in my hand and bear my signature.
Your Honor, my name is Fatma Kabir and I appear on behalf of the defense counsel. Your Honor, with your due permission, may I cross Patwari Mr. Crown. Mr. Crown, did you record the name of any culprit in the court and close answer?
No, I didn't record the name of any culprit because at that time the name of accused were not known to any person.
Mr. Crown, is it correct
that the complainant is the real owner of the place of offence? No, he is not the owner, but he has possession of the place of offence. Mr. Crown, when did it spot inspection? Did the complainant produce any contract of lease? No, he didn't produce any contract of lease. Mr. Crown, why is there is no record of possession of the complainant and his brother? The land was freezed on October and November 2020, but the Rabi crop was made in March. Mr. Crown, is it true that there is an unpaved passage in the land? Yes, there is an unpaved passage in Villa number 9. That's all, Your Honor.
With the honorable court's permission, the के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूँगा. अल्लाह मेरी मदद करे. तो मैं proceed.
I, Yasir Javed, posted as medical officer at EHP Hospital, Lani. On the 16th of April 2021, I conducted the post-mortem examination of the dead body of Muhammad Yar, aged about 36-year resident of Chengulgurukha, Tehsil Lania district of North, which was brought by the constable Safdar bearing the chronology of both pain and was identified by Scan and Mamta. That body was received at their house on 16/4/2021 at 6:15 a.m. And I received the document from police at 6 a.m. and started conducting post-mortem examination at 6:30 a.m. My observation, I observed that it was the dead body of young male of 26 years old, which was lying on the post-mortem table with closed eyes and mouth. Rigor mortis developed, post-mortem staining present, there was no critical hemorrhage. I examined the cause of the deceased. He called blood stains by Shilwar and knees. There was a corresponding or present on the front left of the knees. Description of injuries: around the wound of 1.5 into 1.5 centimeter on upper part of one side of the chest, 5.5 centimeter above the lateral left temple. Margins were inverted, that was an Uchi wound. Opinion: in my opinion, cause of death was injury number 1, which fractured the rib and ruptured the left pleura and heart. That led to massive bleeding, which caused death of the deceased in the ordinary course of nature. Injury number 1 is ante-mortem caused by firearm. After conducting the post-mortem examination, I handed over well-state dead body, police paper, cloth of the dead body, and carbon copy of the post-mortem report to constables of the early. Post-mortem report is prepared as the signature, their signature and stamp.
Post-mortem report is Exhibit PA, which is in my hand and your signature. तो डॉक्टर साहब आप ऐसे देख के शहादत दे सकते हैं, आपने जुबानी दे दी.
I, Rizwan Hossain, with the permission of Honorable Court, may I proceed to examine Dr. Yasir Javed on behalf of all the accused. When did the body has brought to the hospital?
6:15 a.m.
From how many years you are serving as a medical practitioner?
10 years.
How long have you been doing autopsies?
Over 5 years.
What was the time of the death of the deceased? Is it according to police report?
The time of death was 2:30 a.m. That was according to the police papers.
Have you conducted postmortem after 11 a.m. on 16th April 2021?
No, that is incorrect. I started conducting the post-mortem examination at 6:30 a.m.
Dr. Yasir, have you assisted by any other doctor?
No, I cancelled that.
Have you recovered any foreign metallic or lead bullet from the deceased body?
No, I haven't recovered.
Did you leave page number 3 of inquest report blank so that allowing investigation officer to later record some brief facts of the case?
No, it is incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Now the prosecution wants कहूँगा सच के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूँगा अल्लाह मेरी मदद करे.
Stated that I was posted as Station House Officer P.S. Chenabnagar on 16th of April 2021, and I on the same day, along with Munir Ahmed, Nasir Ahmed, and Khan Mohammed and Safdar Ali, reached PHU Hospital Lania after receiving the information of the occurrence of the incident. The complainant Muhammad Shahid was to be present there. He made a verbal statement before me, and the same was recorded in writing. The complainant's thumb had marked it, and it was later sent to Nasir Ahmed to the police station for registration of the affair. The dead body of Muhammad Yar was lying on a stretcher before the post-mortem room. I prepared the inquest injury statement and the inquest report and handed over the same to Safdar Ali along with the dead body for the post-mortem.
ये तमाम डॉक्यूमेंट्स को एग्जिबिट लगाना जरूरी होता है। ये अगर तफ्तीशी अफसर अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स को एग्जिबिट नहीं करेगा या डिस्प्ले नहीं जाएगा तो फिर ये एविडेंस में नहीं पड़ेगा। तो आपने हर डॉक्यूमेंट जो भी है उसको एग्जिबिट करना है।
The statement by the investigation officer is P12, exhibit P12.
वो भी है, दो एग्जिबिट लगाते हैं।
I also recorded a supplementary statement of Shahid, who was present here, who had previously recorded his statements and supported the facts. And it was also revealed that the name of Fazal Abbas was in fact Faz. It was corrected accordingly. The crime scene investigation unit Sargodha presented 5 sealed parcels to me, and I had collected the blood-stained soil from the place of occurrence and was took into possession through the recovery method.
With the due permission of investigation officer, Mr. Asad Abbas, may I? Okay. So, Mr. Asad, where you was when you first time received the information about occurrence of crime?
I do not recall where I was as to when I received the information.
Okay, so Mr. Asad, tell me what was the exact time when you reached at the place of occurrence?
I do not know what the exact time was, and I am not aware of the exact time.
So, have you met any person when you reached at the place of occurrence?
Yes, upon arriving at the place of the incident, I did meet different people.
Did you record the statement of any person to whom you met at the place of occurrence?
Yes, some statements were recorded.
Okay, so one more thing, Mr. Asad Abbas. Did all the witnesses are closely related with the complainant?
Yes, all the witnesses are closely related to one another.
Did you record a statement of her about receiving notes like?
No, the statement of murder was not.
Did Safdar Shah join the investigation?
Safdar Shah did not join the investigation.
So whether the lease deal between Safdar Shah and the complainant was produced before you or not?
The lease deal was never produced before me.
Okay, that's all my own.
Now it's time.
It is not permissible to address final arguments without recording statements of the accused, without affording an opportunity to the accused person to produce defense evidence.
At the end of the case, we will
पहले तो सबसे पहले प्रोसिक्यूटर का बयान लिखना था और प्रोसिक्यूशन एविडेंस को क्लोज करना था। इसके बाद 342 के बयान लिखने थे। ये बता दें कि हम टाइम की वजह से नहीं लिखे, ठीक हुआ। इसके बाद डिफेंस एविडेंस पेश करने का मौका देना।
340 दो भी सर, 340 सबसेक्शन 2 और 342 आप हाल में बैठे हुए बच्चों से पूछ सकते हैं, फ्रैंकली पूछ सकते हैं। लेकिन सर ड्यू टू शॉर्टेज ऑफ टाइम सर का लॉर्डशिप का हुक्म है कि मैं बैक टू कोर्ट क्योंकि मेरे साथ इसलिए सर मैं इनको थोड़ा सा समाप्त करता हूं।
एजुकेशन है ना,
राइट सर,
क्या है
वो
वो बाकी बोलने के ये नहीं बोले
सर, वो रिव्यू पॉलिसी
अच्छी बात सर, स्पोकन वर्ड है।
I want to see the production of the original code, what the final arguments on the medical legal case from prosecution side. Your Honor, Mohammed Shahid, son of Dost Mohammed, filed an FIR on 15 April 2021 about the incident happened on the intervening night of 15 and 16 April, in which he nominated the accused as Fakar Mazhar Sultan as an unidentified person and gave a charge under section 302 and 148 of Pakistan Penal Code. Your Honor, the dead body was received by the medical officer at 6:16 a.m. on 15th April, and he started the commencement of the post-mortem examination at 6:30 shows that it was a prompt post-mortem and it is done without any unusual delay. The time assessed by the medical officer is 2:30 a.m. and which is in line with the time present in the police record, which eliminates any discrepancies regarding the time of the death. The victim sustained the wound on the left side of the chest, which corresponds with a hole on his chest, shows that the injury is caused by the bullet, which is further supported by the statement of the medical officer, which says that the injury was antemortem and caused by the firearm, and it is specifically related with the gun 12-bore double barrel, which is mentioned by the eyewitness in the FIR and his statement and oath and later discovered by the police officer.
The victim sustained a wound of 1.5 by 1.5 centimeters, shows that the injury is caused by the bullet, not by the pellet ejected from the bullet. The victim was shot from a very short distance of about 5 furlong, and which damages his vital organ, fractures the fifth rib, ruptures the heart, lungs, and left fibula, shows that the injury was caused with a deliberate intent, knowing that death would be the likely outcome. The ocular account given by the eyewitness in PW10 is in line with the medical evidence, and the both shows that the accused Muhammad Fakar shot the victim Muhammad Yar with a 12-bore double-barrel gun, which caused the death of the victim. In light of medical testimonial and forensic evidence, prosecution submits that the accused has done this brutal act and caused the death of the victim, and prosecution urges the court to hold him accountable to ensure that justice is served. Thank you.
Present here present the final arguments in front of the Honorable Court on behalf of the defense side. Your Honor, there is a contradiction in the time of the receiving of dead body and the police papers in mortuary. In ordinary practice, police papers will not have been mortuary prior to the receiving of the dead body. Lordship, the development of clinical mortis also creates the doubt regarding the exact time of the occurrence, because it shows the time of occurrence is prior to the mentioned in the FIR. Your Honor, the doctor did not mention whether it is a firearm wound or not, and the opinion of the doctor in the final opinion about the firearm is also doubtful. Lordship, neither presence of pellets in the body nor recovered during the postmortem, which makes it questionable and shows the negligence of doctor, as the pellets of 12 bore remains inside the dead body. Non-commenting upon the scattering of pellets inside the dead body makes it uncertain, as in medical jurisprudence, the doctor studied it very well. Your Honor, no comments upon the high velocity of the fire shot and the low velocity of fire shot makes it also questionable and shows the negligence of doctor, because the velocity of fire shot determines the edges of wound are round or not. From the above mentioned contradictions and loopholes found in the postmortem report prove that the occurrence was not occurred as was mentioned in FIR. Contradiction in time told by the doctor and FIR also makes the entire case of the prosecution doubtful. All the above mentioned points that the ocular and medical versions are not in the line with each other, which creates major doubt and questions and discrepancies, which are sufficient to acquittal the accused. It is my humble submission in front of the Honorable Court to acquit the accused who stands wrongfully charged. Thank you.
From the prosecution side seeks approval of the Honorable Court to proceed with final argument and standing motive. Thank you. Your Honor, the motive behind this heinous crime is clear and undeniable. Fakar and Mazhar on a cattle that frequently trespassed into the wheat field near to Muhammad Yar, causing continuous damage to the crops, and the same was reported in the form of accusation. When Muhammad Yar objected and tried to prevent further damage, the accused took it as their insult. In an act of personal animosity and vengeance, they conspired to teach him a lesson. On the intervening night of 15-16 April 2021, the accused raised a lakara and Fakar fired directly on Muhammad Yar, using his 12-bore double-barrel gun. As per the medical report prepared by Dr. Jasir Javed, the bullet struck the left side of the chest, ultimately causing the death of Muhammad Yar. As reported by the Honorable Court in Muhammad Latif vs. State case, PLD 2008, Supreme Court page 502. Motive is the cause, the manner and method of thought, hidden in the mind of person performing action, which is hidden in the mind of the accused. Your Honor, it was a pre-planned, deliberate and cold-blooded murder. The motive is established beyond all reasonable doubt. The accused not only opened fire directly on Muhammad Yar, but their relentless attacks also endangered the life of other members of the aggrieved party who barely managed to save their lives. Your Honor, the FIR was lodged within a reasonable time. All the weapons have been recovered by the police. The prosecution side has produced 3 witnesses, but the defense has produced none to refute this claim. All the evidence established a direct and unbroken link between the accused, their intentions and the crime committed. Relying on Iftikhar Mahmood vs. Kaisar Iftikhar case, 11 SCMR page 1165. Motive is always very relevant to determine the quantum of the case which is to be punished to the person against whom charge of murder is proved. Your Honor, this act is of personal animosity and was meticulously orchestrated. The premeditated nature of the offense leaves no doubt about the accused's intention to eliminate the victim, while the defense may argue otherwise, but the fact speaks for itself. The accused has the motive, the opportunity, the means, and the intent. Therefore, the prosecution has proved its case beyond all reasonable doubt. The accused must be held accountable for the crime committed, and justice must be served. That's all, Your Honor.
May I start our proceedings? I am here to present the defense version of final arguments till the extent of motive. In this case, the prosecution has sought to establish a particular narrative regarding the motive. Your Honor, the accusation made by the prosecution on my client is that his cattle used to damage the wheat crops on the land that was taken on lease from Safdar Shah. But sir, in order to conceal the truth, the prosecution had not recorded a statement of Safdar Shah. Furthermore, they have neither mentioned nor produced any type of document or tenant agreement of such land as evidence. Furthermore, Your Honor, the prosecution has not specified any monetary loss in the FIR due to the damage caused to the crops by my client's cattle. My Lord, they have not mentioned any specific path through which the cattle used to enter the field. So, it would be my humble submission that keeping in view the evidence produced by the prosecution being untrue, the case of the defense is entitled plain acquittal. But for the sake of arguments, if the ocular count of the prosecution is believed to the extent of Fakhr Abbas accused, this case falls under the ambient of mitigating circumstances, as the prosecution remains failed to prove the motive. As mentioned in the relevant judgment, of Apex Court reported as PLJ 2023 CRC 746, in which it is clearly said that if the prosecution alleged a particular motive but thereafter fails to prove the same, then the prosecution must suffer the consequences, not the defense. Your Honor, my second submission is in this regard would be another circumstance of mitigation is also available to the defense, keeping in view the attending circumstances of the case as non-reputation of file by the assailant upon the deceased despite having the ample opportunity to kill him. In this regard, the guidance can be derived from the judgment titled as the Sabul Hayat versus the State ETC, reported as 2014 PCRLJ 1591. The operational part of this judgment is para number 14, in which the assailant was standing at a distance of 15 feet where the deceased was found shot dead. But sir, the instant case is on better footing, in which the assailant was standing at 30 feet, that is about 5 karam, from the place where the person deceased was found shot dead. Sir, it was a night-time occurrence, and so it is very difficult for the assailant to select a particular organ of the body with such long-range fire shoot. So, Your Honor, the intention of my client was not to kill the deceased despite having the ample opportunity to kill the said eyewitness, that is PW10, who was standing at a distance of 1 karam. As the prosecution remains failed to prove the motive, this case falls under the ambient of mitigation circumstances, and it is an alienable right of the accused to be acquitted.
Your Honor, I am here for my final arguments from prosecution side with extent to recovery. In this case, Your Honor, the state versus Fakhr Abbas, I read the court and the motive for us to be here is to uphold the law and to meet the ends of the justice. Your Honor, witnesses carried torchlights, and a crucial detail about these torchlights were recovered by the investigation officer. Your Honor, this key factor not only enabled them to identify their faces but also to recognize their voices. The illumination provided by these torchlights shed light on the clarity and credibility of the witnesses. Your Honor, firearm barrel double barrel 303 and firearm repeater were recovered by the investigation officer. Each accused separately pointed out the location of their said weapons, and the same were recovered by the investigation officer in the presence of two witnesses. Your Honor, to support my argument, I will quote a judgment from Karachi High Court Singh, 2022 PCRLJ, Karachi 1279. In this case, recovered weapons were admitted as corroborative piece of evidence after positive forensic laboratory report. Your Honor, all this about recovery provides confirmation and supports the prosecution version of the case. Furthermore, Your Honor, this means that accused Fakhr Abbas shoot Muhammad Yar on the left side of his chest. The medical examination of bullet mark aligns perfectly, and there is corresponding hole in the deceased kameez. Your Honor, prosecution has provided all the evidences to this honorable court, including torchlights, murder weapons, and the blood-stained clothes. Your Honor, for the further supporters of my arguments, I will quote another judgment from Lahore High Court, Lahore, 2022 YLR 1357. In this case, forensic serologist analyst report affirmed the clothes were stained with blood, and it was taken as corroborative piece of evidence. Your Honor,
Dear students, please put your hands together for the worthy Vice Chancellor of Government College University, Faizabad, Professor Dr.
Your Honor, every aspect of the case clearly indicates the murder of Muhammad Yar by the said accused, and all evidences are corroborated and has been presented before this honorable court. Your Honor, being counsel of the complainant, my humble submission to this honorable court, that this main said accused, Fakhr Abbas, should be hanged by neck till death.
With your permission, may I start the proceedings? Your Honor, I, Hannan, here to defend the accused of this case as far as the recovery is concerned. Your Honor, it is humbly submitted that the recovery in this case is totally planned by the police and complainant at police station with malified intentions and ulterior motive. Your Honor, place of recovery is a congested area, and it is easy to call upon two or more respectable inhabitants as a witness. But investigation officer malifiedly did not associate any private witness and breached mandatory provision of CRPC 103 subsection 1 regarding search of a house causing search illegal. Reliance is placed on the cases 1996 PCR LJ 1466. Your Honor, in the light of precedents handed by Apex Court of Land, that the recovery without exclusive possession has no value in the eye of law. Reliance is placed on the cases 2002 PCR LJ 51. So the recovery that is attributed to me is totally baseless. Your Honor, recovery is inconsequential due to taken into possession crime equity by the police from place of offense, as the gun para bore is not automatic. Hence, no crime empty ejected automatically. Your Honor, there is contradiction in the distance of place of recovery from police station, because PW10 complainant referred it as 15 to 20 kilometers, while PW12 investigation officer referred it as 20 to 25 kilometers in their statement. Your Honor, there is also contradictions in the weight of unpaved path, because PW10 complainant referred it as 5 km, while PW12 investigation officer referred it as 3 to 4 km to the house of accused Fakhr from the village of Ambuana. Your Honor, investigation officer in his statement admitted that he had not caught any private witness at the time of investigation, at the place of recovery, as well as village. Your Honor, recovery is not primary, it is secondary. Your Honor, PW12 investigation officer didn't take in his chief anything regarding feature of a recovered car. Your Honor, all the contradictions came out of statement of PW10 and PW12 proves that recovery upon accused Fakhr is planted while sitting in the police station. Your Honor, contradictions also proves that witnesses Shahid and Riya were not present at the time of investigation at the place of recovery as well as there. Your Honor, hence prosecution failed to prove the recovery beyond the shadow of doubt. Hence, the accused is entitled to be acquitted.
I am Mohammad Hafiz and I will argue the final arguments on behalf of the prosecution side, and I will confine only to the popular account. Your Honor, the prosecution has 3 eyewitnesses of the case. PW10 Muhammad Shahid, who is also the complainant and the real brother of the deceased. PW11 Hayat, who is the maternal uncle of the deceased. Zaman, who is the paternal cousin of the deceased. Your Honor, PW10 and PW11 mentioned in their statements that they were having separate torchlights, and they saw in the light of the torch that the accused Fakhr, armed with gun, barabor double barrel, Sultan armed with 8 mm rifle, Mazhar armed with 303 rifle, Faiz armed with repeater barabor, and an unknown person were sitting on a water course alongside the wheat crop. Your Honor, the accused person Fakhr raised Langara that Muhammad Yar used to stop us from damaging their wheat crops, and now he would teach him a lesson. And he fired a direct shot that landed on the left side of the chest of the Muhammad Yar, and the other 3 accused person made direct fire on the witnesses Shahid, Hayat and Zaman. Your Honor, the witnesses and Your Honor, the distance between the witnesses and the person who fired the shot is 5 garam, as it is accepted by the defense counsel. Your Honor, if we calculated the 5 garam, it becomes 10 meter, and according to a search, a person can recognize another person at a distance of 8 meter. Your Honor, in the present case, the total distance is 8 meter. The night occurrence does not affect the case of the prosecution side. Your Honor, the testimony of the eyewitness is fair and straightforward. It was held by the superior court that the interested witness, mainly on the case of relation with deceased, cannot be rejected if the same was made straightforward, fair and confident inside. Your Honor, my Lordship, it was pre-planned murder with common intention to kill an innocent person. According to the Holy Quran, chapter 5, verse 32 says that killing an innocent person is killing of humanity unless it is in self-defense or to stop corruption. Your Honor, my Lordship, it is my humble prayer that the court give the accused person capital punishment for committing heinous crime against humanity. Thank you, my Lord.
Of this honorable court may proceed with the final argument concerning the opponent. First of all, my Honor, Your Honor, the prosecution has 3
the eyewitnesses. First is Mr. Shahid, who is the real brother of the deceased. And second is the Mr. Hayat, who is the maternal uncle of the deceased. And third is the Mr. Zaman, who is the paternal cousin of the deceased. And it is the blood relation testimony in the eye of law is very doubtful. Furthermore, the Mr. Shahid, who is a farmer and does farming. It is a definite fact that a farmer does not much familiar with the types of weapons. But Mr. Shahid clearly in the light of torch at night said the types of the weapons so clearly, and it is very surprising. Furthermore, the torchlight principle work on the particle physics in what's called law. When the object is some far from the torch, the light can spread, and it is very difficult to recognize the object. And there was the distance between deceased and the accused was 27.5 feet, and it is very surprising that how Mr. Shahid can clearly recognize the accused. Mr. Hayat, as a PW11, said in his statement that I and Mr. Kumar were present at the place of occurrence when the police came. But when the police came, Mr. Hayat and Mr. Zaman did not hand it over the torchlight to the investigation officer, whereas they said that they handed over the torchlight to the investigation officer later. As a PW12, the SHO said in his statement that when I reached at the place of occurrence after receiving the information, they said that there is nobody present, and I did not record any statement as an eyewitness of the person who claimed themselves as an eyewitness. The time mentioned in the FIR is place of occurrence. The time mentioned of FIR, the crime is 1 a.m. But Mr. Shahid said in his statement that he called the rescue 112 from 12:45 to 1 a.m. It raises a big question that how he can call the rescue 112 before the arrest. The prosecution's case hinges on the testimony of the witnesses, but these witnesses are unreliable and their accounts are inconsistent. So it is humbly request to this honorable court to grant the relief by dismissing all the charges and declare the accused innocent. Thank you.
May it please the honorable court. The prosecution stands with a clear stance before the honorable court to establish that accused Fakar Abbas is guilty beyond some reasonable doubt. This case is not built on mere speculation. It is built upon eyewitness testimony, forensic evidence, and the accused's own actions. The series of evidences are Mohammed Shahid, the complainant saw Fakar Abbas fired Barabor double-barrel shotgun at the brother Muhammad Yar, suffocating him in the chest. Independent witnesses Hayat and Zaman had a clear view and confirmed the fatal shots. Torches illuminated the scene, eliminating mistaken identities. The defense may attempt to credit these witnesses, but they had no motive to falsely implicate the accused, and their accounts align with forensic findings. Furthermore, the deceased died due to a gunshot wound to the chest. The timing of the death matches post-mortem report. Furthermore, forensic experts confirmed the presence of blood-stained soil and crime imprints pulling cases at the crime scene, proving that gunfight took place at the exact location where the accused was seen firing his weapon. The other was recovery of murder weapon. On May 10, 2021, the accused led the police to the hidden weapons.
May it please honorable court. I am Sir Bhagat from the Defense Counsel, and I will be giving the final arguments on the evidence PW1 and PW4 to PW9. My lord, the case is clear that it's the duty of the prosecution side to present the case beyond any reasonable doubt. And if the doubt arises, then the benefit of the doubt should be given to the accused. I have a case law 2023 SCMR 870, which clearly shows that if two interpretations arises, then the one which is benefiting the accused must be prevailed. My lord, here are the prosecution's case and the evidences and which the prosecution side presented. They are filled with contradictions, inconsistencies, and procedural loopholes and lapses. My lord, with your permission, let us examine the contradictions in the statement and act of PW1 and PW4 to PW9. My lord, in the case of PW1, Mr. Patwari, there are two different contradictions. First of all, in the lease plan, that firstly he claimed that there was a lease plan, but later on he said that there is no lease plan. And secondly, the initial report 230, which was initiated from the village Chowkidar, it did not mention the accused, but later on the names were being added. So the person who is continuously giving the contradictory statement, they could not rely on. Now, in case of PW4, there are contradictions in postmortem and weapon recovery. That Mr. PW4 is uncertain about the weapon recovery and medical evidences. So his statement could not be also relied upon. Then in case of PW6, there are manipulated timelines plus mishandling of the evidences. My lord, it is pertinent to mention, and it's a very important point, that Mr. PW6, he said that he left the hospital at 3 a.m. but he reached the crime scene at Fajr Azan time. And the distance was just 30 to 40 kilometers. Well, this provides enough time for the tampering and altering of the evidence. By seeing all these alterations and contradictions in the statements of the witnesses from the prosecution side, my lord, the case is full of doubts. Not a single doubt, there are series of doubts being created. So, with your permission, I humbly pray to the Honorable Court for the Honorable acquittal of Mr. Fakhr Abbas, Mr. Madar and all the accused. May this Honorable Court uphold the principle of fairness and ensure that no innocent person is being condemned. May justice prevail.
Sir, I, Bilal Zulfikar, appear on the behalf of State Counsel to sum up the case. May I proceed, Your Lordship? This case is not just about the cold-blooded, premeditated murder of Muhammad Yar. It is about upholding the rule of law over lawlessness, over the justice prevails over lawlessness and violence. The accused with well-planned intention mercilessly ended an innocent life. The eyewitness testimonies, the medical reports, the established motive and the recovery of murder weapon collectively leave no room for doubt. The prosecution successfully established the case beyond a reasonable doubt, and the accused does not deserve any leniency. This honorable court has not a duty to punish the perpetrators, but also send a strong message to the society. If the blood of an innocent to go unavenged, then that tomorrow the fabric of justice will be torn beyond repair. Janab, in the interest of justice, sanctity of human life and deterrence, the State Counsel and the prosecution humbly prays that for the maximum punishment under Section 302, subsection D of PPC, death sentence and only death sentence, and the justice may be served in purest form. May justice prevail. Thank you.
I have heard both the sides and have perused the records very carefully. For multiple reasons, this court has come to the conclusion that the prosecution has completely failed to prove the charge against the accused persons beyond any shadow of doubt. All the accused persons are acquitted of the charge. The principal accused is present in court and custody. He be released forthwith. The remaining accused persons are present on bail and are discharged of their bail bonds. Announced. मैं बिल्कुल बगैर कोई ऐसे रस्मी बात किए सही दी होल ट्रूथ ये है कि मुझे आपके कॉन्फिडेंस ने बहुत मुतासिर ये बहुत बड़ी क्वालिफिकेशन है जबरदस्त बड़े एतमाद से आपने बातें की आर्गू किया और एतमाद से पूरे कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ ये बड़ी हौसला अफजा बात है ये मैं कोई रियायती नंबर नहीं दे रहा रियायती नंबर मैंने कभी अपने आप को भी नहीं दिया कोई नहीं ये असली बात है और दूसरी हौसला अफजा बात ये है जिससे मैं अक्सर परेशान रहता हूँ कि मेरी कम्युनिटी जिसका ला से ताल्लुक है सब्जेक्ट टू एक्सेप्शंस ये मेरे साथ नाराज भी हूँ तो मैं कहूँगा کہ ان کو ہر کام میں دلچسپی ہے ماں سوائے اپنے کام کے. تو یہاں میں نے آپ کے چہرے میں پڑھتا رہا ہوں جس توجہ سے اور انحباق سے آپ نے اس میں پارٹیسپیٹ کیا ہے اور سنا ہے، تو مجھے یہ خوشی ہوئی ہے کہ اس ایکسیپشن میں یہ فیصلہ آباد بھی شامل ہے. میں یہ آپ میرے بچوں کی طرح ہیں، بلکہ شاید میرے کسی پوتوں کی عمر کے بھی بیٹھے. I am extremely old man. آپ میری پوری زندگی اسی پروفیشن میں گزر گئی ہے، آپ میری بات مان لیں. پروفیشنلزم کا کوئی سبسٹیٹیوٹ نہیں، نو سبسٹیٹیوٹ آف پروفیشنلزم. باقی ہو سکتا ہے کوئی دائیں بائیں سے کسی کا داؤ لگ جائے، تو جس کا داؤ لگتا ہے اس کی لائف کوئی نہیں ہوتی، اس کی کوئی عمر نہیں ہوتی، وہ بڑے جلدی ختم ہو جاتا ہے. اگر کوئی زندگی ہے اور لائف ہے تو وہ پروفیشنلزم کی ہے. آپ نے یہ پروفیشن جوائن کیا ہے، آپ اس میں آئے ہیں، آپ کی ترجیحات میں یہ نمبر 1 پر ہونا چاہیے، نمبر 1 پر. ہر چیز اس کے بعد ہے، میرا پروفیشن نمبر 1 ہے. اس کے بعد انشاءاللہ آپ کامیاب ہو جائیں گے، یہ بالکل میری طرف سے آپ نے. میں آئی ایم دا بینیفیشری آف پروفیشنلزم. میری کوئی سفارش نہیں، میرا کوئی ایسا یہ جو آئیں بائیں دائیں سائیں سے کچھ ہے، کچھ نہیں. میں اپنے پروفیشنلزم کے مجھے یہ اطلاع ملی، میرے استاد نے مجھے بتایا کہ سوا اس کے زندگی کوئی نہیں. تو لہذا آپ پروفیشنلزم پر آئیں، کتاب پر آئیں، بائی بک آئیں. یہاں کوئی CRPC پڑھی ہے، ضابطہ فوجداری ہے، یہاں نہیں ہے. ورنہ میں مثال کرتا کہ وکالت بھی رواجی ہو گئی ہے اور جدید بھی رواجی ہو گئی، کہ کامن پریکٹس دیکھتے ہیں کہ ہو کیا رہا ہے، یہ نہیں دیکھتے کہ کامن پریکٹس کیا ہے اور کتاب کیا کہتی ہے. کتاب کی بجائے کامن پریکٹس پر نظام چل رہا ہے. میں تو بالکل یہ گلہ کرتا رہتا ہوں، آج بھی کرتا ہوں، کہ it has become a case of self-styled system versus codified system. اور the self-styled system has overpowered the codified system. یہ اگر CRPC ہوتی تو میں کروڈ فارم میں آپ کو ایک مثال دیتا کہ یہ کس طرح self-styled system نے ہائی جیک کر دیا ہے codified system. میری ایک تجویز ہے اگر قابل عمل ہو، یا تو اپنے بیج بنائیں چھوٹے اور جج صاحب کی کورٹ میں بدقسمتی سے اب وہ ٹرائل بھی کوئی نہیں ہو رہا ہے. اب میں اس کا کس سے گلہ کروں کہ جو ٹرائل جب ہوتے تھے تو 3 دن مرڈر ٹرائل ہوتا تھا، آج کل اور پرسوں ایک تیسرے دن کنکلوڈ ہو جاتا تھا، یا اسی دن یا چوتھے دن ججمنٹ اناؤنس ہو جاتی. لیکن اب یہ مرڈر ٹرائل بدقسمتی سے یہ تو درستی خسرہ گرداوری کی درخواستیں بن گئی اور اسی طرح ان کو ڈٹایا جا رہا. اب مجھے پتہ کوئی نہیں دہشت گردی کی عدالتوں کا کوئی شاید بہتر حال ہو، خاص دیکھ سکتا ہوں اس سے عام کورٹ سے بہتر ہو، تو آپ بجائے دوسری نارمل سیشن کورٹ کی بجائے آپ کے بیگ جج صاحب کی کورٹ میں جا کر ٹرائل آپ دیکھیں. اور اگر کبھی ممکن ہو آپ تو ایک سادہ سا کیس لے لیں گے سنگل اکیوز کا جس نے قتل کیا، اس کا اگر یہ ممکن ہو اور پاسبل ہو تو میں ٹائم نکالوں گا، ادھر بیٹھ کے میں ٹرائل کر دیتا ہوں اس کا آپ کے سامنے. ٹرائل وہ کریں گے جیسے زمین پر ہوتا ہے. یہ آج زمین والے ٹرائل نہیں ہوئے، نہ آن گراؤنڈ جیسے آرگومنٹس ہوئے ہیں، لیکن یہ بھی آپ کو میں نمبر دیتا ہوں، یہ آپ نے بہت اعلیٰ کام کیا. لیکن یہ بھی دیکھنا ہے آن گراؤنڈ کیا ہوتا ہے.
اس کا اسی طرح پنجابی یا اردو میں گواہ شہادت دیں. میں اس کو ڈکٹیشن دوں گا اور لکھاؤں گا ان کو. پھر اس کے بعد اس کی کراس ایگزامینیشن لکھیں گے. اس کے بعد 342 کا بیان لکھیں گے. کوئی ڈیفینس ایویڈنس ہوگی وہ لکھیں گے. اور اگر پاسبل ہو اور آپ کے پاس وقت ہو تو میں ادھر ہی بیٹھ کر اس کیس کی ججمنٹ لکھاؤں گا آپ کے سامنے. کمپلیٹ ججمنٹ لکھیں گے, ٹرائل کریں گے. میں فرد جرم لگاؤں گا. میں نے پہلے کہا ہے کہ نارملی فرد جرم ڈیفیکٹو. کیوں ڈیفیکٹو ہے؟ نہ وکیل صاحب دلچسپی لیتے ہیں نہ جج صاحب دلچسپی لیتے ہیں, لہذا ڈیفیکٹو چارج شیٹ ہوتا ہے. تو یہی کمنٹس کریں گے ٹرائل کو. پہلا آرڈر لکھیں, آرڈر شیٹ پر لکھیں گے کہ ٹرائل میں آرڈر شیٹ کیسے ہوتی ہے. جب ٹرائل کمنس ہوتا ہے تو ایک آرڈر شیٹ بنتی ہے ٹرائل کی, اور ایک چارج شیٹ ہوتی ہے. چارج شیٹ بھی ادھر بیٹھ کے بنائیں گے, آرڈر شیٹ بھی ادھر بیٹھ کے بنائیں گے, ادھر ایویڈنس لکھیں گے. ادھر ہی بیٹھ کر اس کی ججمنٹ لکھا دوں گا آپ کے سامنے کہ آپ کو یہ کنوے ہو کہ اصلی ٹرائل کس طرح ہوتا ہے. یہ کبھی ممکن ہو تو انشاءاللہ کر لیں گے. میں اپنا وقت چھوڑ کر آ جاؤں گا اس لیے کہ میرے یہاں میں آپ کو ایک بتاؤں, میں ہیومن بیہیویئر اور ہیومن کنڈکٹ پر کتابیں پڑھتا ہوں. اس کے نتیجے میں میرا ایک کنکلوژن ہے کہ ایکسکلوڈنگ دا ہولی پرسنز, اس کائنات میں کوئی شخص ایسا نہیں جس کے تعصبات نہ. ہر شخص متعصب ہے, اس کے تعصبات کی نوعیت ڈفرینٹ ہے. میرے بھی تعصبات ہیں. اس پیشے نے مجھے نام دیا, مجھے رزق دیا. میرے بچوں کی بہترین ایجوکیشن کا بندوبست اس پروفیشن کی وجہ سے ہو. یہ میں I take pride کہ اس پروفیشن کی وجہ سے میرے 3 بچے CSP آفیسر ہیں. ان میں میری بیٹی بھی ہے سب سے چھوٹی جو فارن سروس میں ہے. تو یہ کسی کے صدقے میں ہوا ہے, ورنہ میرے بچے گلی محلے میں ہوتے تو شاید ایسی ایجوکیشن بھی نہ ہو سکتی اور ایسا ان کو منزل بھی نہ ملتی. لہذا اس پروفیشن کے بارے میں میرے تعصبات, جب اس کو میں اچھے حالت میں دیکھتا ہوں تو میرے تعصبات مجھے خوش کرتے ہیں. اگر اس کو زوال میں دیکھتا ہوں میرے تعصبات مجھے تکلیف دیتے ہیں. آج آپ کی توجہ اور آپ کے اعتماد نے میرے تعصبات کو خوشی ملتی ہے. بس میں دعا دیتا ہوں آپ کو, آپ کے لیے بہت بہت دعائیں ہیں. انشاءاللہ آپ کامیاب ہوں گے, انشاءاللہ آپ کا مستقبل روشن ہوگا. تھینک یو ویری مچ.
جسٹس ریٹائرڈ کاظم علی ملک صاحب, مسٹر جاوید اقبال شیخ ڈسٹرکٹ اینڈ سیشن جج, میاں اسد نثار بھٹی صاحب ایڈوکیٹ ہائی کورٹ, آپ سب کا بہت شکریہ, آپ تشریف لائے. اور میں نے آپ کا ٹرائل بھی وٹنس کیا اور پھر جسٹس صاحب کی گفتگو بھی سنی. میں بھی اسی خوشی کا اظہار کرنا چاہوں گا. ایک تو جن اسٹوڈنٹس نے کیس پریزنٹ کیا دونوں سائڈ سے, آپ کا کانفیڈنس, اور کانفیڈنس کے علاوہ جو مجھے ایک اور بات اچھی لگی وہ آپ کی لینگویج کے اوپر جو آپ کا روٹ ہے, ایک روانی کے ساتھ آپ آرگیو کر رہے تھے اور پریزنٹ کر رہے تھے. بالخصوص وہ پیشے جیسے ٹیچنگ ہے یا وکالت ہے جن کا سارے کا سارا دارومدار گفتگو کا ہے, آپ کی گفتگو میں طاقت نہ ہو, آپ کے الفاظ میں ردم نہ ہو تو آپ کی بات کا وزن جو ہے وہ کم ہو جاتا ہے. تو آپ نے بہت اچھے طریقے سے پریزنٹ کیا اور میں اپریشیٹ کرتا ہوں آپ کے اساتذہ کو, آپ کے چیئر پرسن اور باقی ٹیچرس کو, آپ کو اس طرح کے مواقع بھی دے رہے ہیں جہاں پہ آپ پریکٹیکلی اپنی سکلز کو پریکٹس کر رہے ہیں اور اس کو پریزنٹ کر رہے ہیں. اور آپ کی اس طرح کی تربیت ہو رہی ہے کہ تمام مختلف پہلو ہیں آپ کے پیشے کے, ان کے اوپر توجہ دی جا رہی ہے. اور جج صاحب نے جو پیشکش کی کہ اگر ممکن ہو تو ایک لائیو ٹرائل یہاں پہ کیا جا سکتا ہے جو ایکچوئل ٹرائل ہو, اور جس میں وہ سارے جو لوازمات ہیں یعنی ججمنٹ ڈکٹیٹ کرنا ہے یا جو آرڈر شیٹ باقی جو انہوں نے چیزیں ذکر کیا,
ظاہر ہے ان ساری باتوں کو سیکھنا بھی ضروری ہے. تو میرا خیال ہے اس طرح کی بھی کوئی ارینجمنٹ ہونی چاہیے. اسکرپٹیڈ آرگیومنٹس نہیں ہونے چاہیے. اسکرپٹیڈ ٹرائل اگر نہ ہو, ایک ریئلسٹک ہو تو وہ بھی ایک اچھی بات ہو سکتی ہے. اور پھر میرا خیال ہے کہ میں بھی ابھی مجھے کبھی ایسا لگتا ہے کہ ہم نے 10-12 اسٹوڈنٹس جو یہاں پریزنٹ ہوئے, شاید باقی لوگ, مجھے نہیں پتا, میں ایسے شک کا اظہار کر رہا ہوں کہ کیا باقی لوگ بھی اتنے ہی کیپیبل ہیں, وہی ان کا کانفیڈنس کا لیول ہے اور وہی ان کی زبان کا عبور ہے, یا ان میں کچھ فرق ہے. تو ہم ایسا بھی کر سکتے ہیں کہ کوئی ڈفرینٹ رولز لے کے رول پلیس, یعنی آپ ہی میں سے کچھ لوگ یہاں بیٹھے ہوئے ہیں اور آپ ہی میں سے کچھ لوگ وہ سارا جو پریزنٹیشن ہوئی وہ کر رہے ہیں, اور مختلف گروپس میں کرتے کرتے سب کو تاکہ پریکٹس کا موقع ملے. آپ کرتے ہوں گے شاید, مجھے نہیں پتا, اس طرح سے سب کر رہے ہوتے ہیں. تو جتنی ہم بہتر پریپریشن اپنے نوجوانوں کی کر سکیں. مجھے خاص طور پہ بڑی دکھ ہوتا ہے, تکلیف ہوتی ہے کہ جب ہماری ایج کے یا ہم سے سینئر لوگ جیسے وجے صاحب فرما رہے تھے کہ ٹرائل تو کبھی ہوا کرتے تھے, اب نہیں ہوتے. یہ ڈکلائن کی انڈیکیشن ہے. مجھے خوشی اس وقت ہوگی جب ہمیں ایسا کچھ نہ کہنا پڑے کہ ہمارے اساتذہ بہت اچھے تھے, ہم اتنے اچھے نہیں ہیں, یا ہمارے بعد میں آنے والے بھی شاید اس طرح سے نہیں ہیں. تو ماضی کو جب ہم حال سے بہتر سمجھتے ہیں اور مستقبل کے بارے میں ہمارے خدشات ہوتے ہیں, تو اس کا مطلب ہے کہ ہم آگے نہیں بڑھ رہے, ہم پیچھے جا رہے ہیں. اور ہمیں بہت اعتماد ہوگا, خوشی ہوگی جب ہم یہ کہہ سکیں کہ جو یہاں نوجوان بیٹھے ہیں, ہمیں بڑا اطمینان ہے اور بڑا کانفیڈنس ہے, اعتماد ہے کہ یہ کل ہم سے بہتر کام کریں گے. جب ایسا ہوگا تو ہمیں لگے گا کہ ہم بہتری کی طرف چل رہے ہیں. جیسے وہ اقبال کا ایک شعر ہے, اشعار مجھے ویسے زیادہ یاد نہیں ہوتے, آتے نہیں ہیں. وہ نوجوانوں کو پیروں کا استاد کا کیا ہے, کسی کو یاد ہے؟ کسی ایک کو بھی نہیں یاد. یعنی نوجوانوں کو پیروں کا استاد کا, یعنی جو نوجوان ہے وہ ان کے علم کا اور ان کے تجربے کا معیار یہ ہو کہ وہ جو بزرگ ہیں ان کے استاد ہو. یعنی بزرگ نوجوان کا استاد نہ ہو بلکہ نوجوان بزرگ کا استاد ہو. تو یہ ترقی کا راستہ ہے. تو میں تو یہ چاہوں گا کہ مجھے یہ بہت اعتماد ہو, کانفیڈنس ہو کہ جو اس طرف بیٹھے ہیں لوگ, یہ کل کو جب اس طرف آئیں گے تو ہم یہ کہیں گے کہ یہ ہم سے بہتر ہے, انہوں نے دنیا کو, زمانے کو, وقت کو ہم سے بہتر سنبھال لیا ہے. تو انشاءاللہ ہماری کوشش یہ ہے کہ ہم ایسا کر سکیں, آپ کو ایسے مواقع دے سکیں. تو ان مواقع کو فائدے میں کنورٹ کرنا, ان مواقع کو صحیح طور پر عمل میں کنورٹ کرنا, یہ آپ کی محنت سے ہوگا. جیسا میں نے بھی فرمایا, محنت کریں, کتاب کو پڑھا کریں اور اپنی زبان کو خاص طور پر بہتر سے بہتر بنائیں. میری بہت ساری دعائیں آپ سب کے لیے اور بہت ساری اپریسیشن آپ کے اساتذہ کے لیے جو آپ کے ساتھ محنت کر رہے ہیں اور آپ کی اچھی ٹریننگ کر رہے ہیں. وکیلوں کا جو ایک خاص طور پہ امپریشن اس ملک میں بن گیا ہے پچھلے 10-15 سالوں میں, وہ کچھ اچھا نہیں ہے. اور مجھے نہیں پتا کہ اس امپریشن کا اثر ہے یا کوئی اور بھی بات ہے. اس یونیورسٹی میں بھی ہم جب لا اسکول کے ایریا میں جاتے ہیں تو ہمیں کچھ ایسی باتیں سننے میں ملتی ہیں کہ وہاں بلنگ بہت زیادہ ہوتی ہے, وہاں جو ڈسرپشن ہے یا جو ڈسپلن کا نہ ہونا ہے اس کی شکایات بہت ملتی ہیں. تو میری گزارش ہے کہ جو لوگ لا سے وابستہ ہیں, قانون سے وابستہ ہیں, ان کو قانون کا احترام سب سے زیادہ کرنا چاہیے. اور باقی خرابیوں کے علاوہ جو ہمارے ملک میں ایک اور خرابی ہوئی ہے
وہ ہمیں محسوس ہوتی ہے بہت سارے مواقع پہ، بہت ساری جگہوں پہ، کہ قانون سازی ہماری بہت خراب ہو گئی ہے. جو میں نے لینگویج کی بات کی تھی، ہمارے جو نئے قوانین بن رہے ہیں ان کی لینگویج بہت خراب ہے. ہم خاص طور پہ یونیورسٹیوں کے جو قوانین ہیں ان کو دیکھتے ہیں، جو ایکٹس ہمارے بنتے ہیں، کہ ایسی چیزیں، ایسی اختراعیں اس میں ڈل رہی ہیں کہ جو قانون سازی کے پروسیسز ہیں ان میں سے چیزیں نہیں گزرتی. یعنی ہم نے آسان بنانے کے لیے، شارٹ کٹس بنانے کے لیے ہر سطح پہ ہم نے چیزوں کو خراب کیا ہے. تو قانون کے جو ماہرین ہیں ان کا قانون سازی کے اندر بھی بہت رول ہوتا ہے، اور یہ ایک نیچرل سا ایک ٹریک ہے کہ بہت سارے جو وکلاء ہیں یا قانون سے وابستہ لوگ ہیں وہ پھر اسمبلیوں میں بھی جاتے ہیں، لیجسلیشن میں بھی وہ انوالو ہوتے ہیں. تو قانون سازی کو بھی ہمیں بہتر بنانے کی ضرورت ہے، اداروں کے لیول پہ اور ملک کے لیول پہ. تو ونس اگین آئی اپریشیٹ دس ایکٹیویٹی، اور مجھے اس سے بہت تسلی بھی ہے کہ آپ کی ٹریننگ اچھی ہو رہی ہے، آپ اچھا سیکھ رہے ہیں، اور انشاءاللہ جب پریکٹیکل لائف میں آپ جائیں گے تو کامیابی آپ کے قدم چکے گی. تھینک یو.